Hello, welcome to our game show.
You beat me to it. You beat me. I was gonna do the game show voice, like
I'll be
hello,
your host, Mr. Beef.
Mr. Beef, like is
Mr.
that
Beef.
Mr. Knockoff
This
Mr.
is my
Beef,
assistant, Short Rib.
short rib, the delicious short rib mix sandwich.
You are pretty delicious. That's to be sure.
Happy Friday, guys. Stacy, I see that you said, isn't that the pick for last week's bean? YouTube caches.
Yeah, YouTube's weird sometimes.
So just usually if you refresh or clear your cache, sometimes it will just show you guys the thumbnail for last week's episode during the wait screen. I don't know why.
It does it to us too. We try
yeah.
to we go in and replace it like 5 times and it doesn't do anything. So
Mr. Bean. That's Bubbers.
that is Bubbers.
Bubbers is Mr. Bean.
He is Mr. Bean.
Because it's Friday's bean. Yes, perfect explanation. Happy Friday, guys. So today we're going to be rebooting an episode of the Friday Bean that we did, I believe, 2 years ago. And someone found that episode and commented on it and said how much they liked it. And I was thinking to myself, oh, we could make this better. Because it was back when we had our lame backdrop and I was like taping words to the backdrop, trying to do a live demonstration. And I just figured, you know what? Let's reboot this. Let's do it for 2023. This is a lot of the common questions that we get about Etsy SEO can be answered by this. And I know that you guys aren't going to go back and watch these really, really old videos because we have, how many videos do we have now?
Oh God, a lot. How many of you were here for that old crappy backdrop when we were trying way too hard? And the worst part about that backdrop is we got a couple minutes till everybody gets in here. The worst part about that backdrop, for one, we've still got it.
Oh yeah,
we still have it. It's in our back room. But it was like a big tarp canvas thing that was up on this crappy stand and it just slowly devolved and got more wrinkly.
It started falling
and
apart.
Finally we were like, we should probably like figure out something for our background. And it turns out when you stop trying too hard, it looks great. Now we just have a couple of lights shining on the background and we look like professionals. So
that's great.
I wonder if we're ever going to look back on this backdrop and think, man, it looked like crap.
Yeah, that blue and red.
That blue and red on that discount curtain you bought at Kohl's.
It was an expensive curtain.
It was still like $65 for that curtain, but we got it on sale for like more than 50% off. It was like a $200 curtain.
Yeah.
Don't pay $200 for a curtain. It ain't worth it.
And then Danielle said, I just watched that last week. Well, you're going to watch it again, but it's going to be clearer. It's going to be better.
It's going to be clear.
So today what we're going to be doing is breaking down some topics that have to do with Etsy SEO that I've been seeing a lot of questions about ever since I released our free Etsy SEO Tools Toolbox. That's down below if you haven't gotten it already. It has pretty much all of my Etsy SEO resources that I have launched in the past year, just all packed into one. It's got my Science of Etsy Success Workshop. It has a couple of my very favorite Etsy SEO YouTube videos, but they're in the order that I recommend if you're trying to learn how to do Etsy SEO, the exact order that I recommend accomplishing certain tasks. Because if you try to learn it all at once, you're just going to be really confused. So I've kind of broken it down for you. And it also, if you don't already have an E-Rank membership, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial of any of the paid plans with that. And that's not like an affiliate link. I don't get paid. It's just a way for us to, for one, E-Rank's been wanting to do free trials, so it allows us to test it with a smaller group of people. You guys just happen to be the guinea pigs. But it also allows us to give something to you guys that nobody else is able to offer. So feel free to check that out. Look for the little ramen noodle emoji. It's down below. But today what we're going to be focusing on are the difference between exact matching and broad matching on Etsy. So everybody asks about keywords and how do I enter them and how do I split them up for my tags. We're going to talk a little bit about those two things, but we are also going to be discussing long tail keywords and head keywords, what the difference is, how to find them, and how you can both exact match and broad match for different terms. So if those are topics that still are really confusing for you, then hopefully you learn a lot today. If you've already mastered this stuff, thanks for hanging out anyway. Welcome. Did you have something? I know that somebody had asked a question.
Oh, somebody asked of what antivirus they recommend for PC. If you're on Windows, Windows Defender's enough. Comes with Windows 10. I don't know about Windows 11. I'm assuming it still does. If you want an extra layer of security on top of that, if you have the extra RAM to handle it, if you got like 8 gigs of RAM, then you don't want anything extra on your computer.
Yeah.
But if you have 16 or 32 gigs of RAM, then we use malware bytes on top of it as a just in case, because obviously we download a lot of stuff. That's pretty much it. If Microsoft Defender doesn't stop it, then nothing you pay for is going to stop it either.
All right. So I'm ready to go. If you guys are ready to go, I know somebody had asked for an update on section 230.
They're still kind of debating it.
We'll talk more about it at the end.
There's nothing to really talk about.
Oh.
They're still debating it. The people that are in charge of overseeing the whole thing have no idea what they're looking at, so it's going to take a while for them to figure it out. The most recent news is that they're figuring out that AI isn't like subjective, or it is subjective. Like it's capable of bias, and that throws a whole kink into the thing. But you just have to watch YouTube videos on it because it's extremely complicated and long-winded, and it doesn't really fit our topic here. So
yeah, all right,
stay up to date with it, but.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and get us all figured out. Get us all, Mr. Moore.
We're ready. Yeah.
Yes, you got it. But you have to be the one, because I'll mess it up. I will most definitely put something in the wrong place.
Yeah, you will. I'm gonna have to fit into this abusive persona.
Oh God, no.
Should I?
No.
It'll be my fursona.
We had there's a Reddit thread where people decided to rip into me. And I took it too personally today and had a good cry. But I'm feeling better. I think that while he's getting set up, it's a good time to talk. And I do appreciate Tina especially she made a video.
Much love.
Today. Yeah, she made a video today talking about it. And I think that everybody hits a point of, criticism where criticism hurts more than compliments. All I can say to, especially if you're new here, because this isn't like the norm. We're almost always just like on topic. But 99.9% of what I do for free is for free. And if you don't like my content style, that's totally okay. You don't have to watch. I do sell a course. I only sell it twice a year. I don't push it in anybody's faces. I don't use schemy tactics. I am as transparent as possible about it. You guys are free to ask me anything. And if my knowledge of Etsy is ever put into question, ask me things.
Ask a question.
Ask me things, because there's nothing that you guys ask me that I'm not going to be able to answer. And it's going to come from a place of either fact or I'm going to tell you that I don't currently know the answer, but I can find it for you. So if you're ever debating whether or not I'm worth listening to, watch some of my content and decide for yourself. And if you
do it yourself.
Right. If I'm not worth watching for you, that's totally fine. But
that's totally fine. If you know more, then you wouldn't be here.
But being mean to me on the internet is not cool, because I'm a person and I go through a lot, and I'm sick right now. I have terrible vertigo. I have an ear infection, but I'm here. I'm here hanging out with you because I do this every Friday. So anyway,
yeah, that's enough of that. We'll stay on the cheery side of things. And if you don't like us, if I'm too much of a know-it-all for your taste, if instead of being a know-it-all and posting on Reddit, do it better. Be a competition to us. Start your own YouTube channel. Yeah. Inform people.
And we'll be there in your comments supporting you and telling you how great you're doing. So
yeah. And to answer if she was doing Etsy so well, then why is she teaching? This is more lucrative.
Well, I'm a teacher.
To be honest, and she enjoys teaching.
I went to school to be a teacher. I am a teacher. I went to school to be a teacher. I am a teacher. I like teaching.
It's the natural evolution of business. If you do something for a long time and you're really good at it, what makes more money and is more enjoyable is teaching other people to do it, because then we can grow. Instead of growing one pot with one flower in it, we now have a garden full of blossoming flowers, and that's you guys. Yeah. That's the difference.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we love you guys. Let's continue on.
Let's do it.
No more somber nonsense.
Let's do it. All right. Can you tell I worked really hard on this? Can you tell? Look how hard I worked. All right. So, things that are going to be different this time around is we're going to be doing everything in Canva rather than taping keywords to a wall behind us. We're going to have fun today.
Mostly because we don't have the wall.
Yeah. We we are going to be dragging and dropping our keywords and learning a lot about head keywords, about long tail keywords, about broad matching, about exact matching. And then at the end, if you have any questions about Etsy SEO, Etsy in general, if you want to ask me personal questions about my life, since that seems to be super interesting to people for some reason lately, feel free to ask. That's what we're here for. But to, save those questions till the end because we might miss them. But let's go ahead and get started. So the main things that we're going to talk about today are head keywords and long tail keywords and broad matching and exact matching. So we need to know what those things are first in order to more skillfully craft things like our Etsy tags and titles, okay? So head keywords, let's start there. These are keywords that don't necessarily point to a specific type of item. They're often very short. They don't have a lot of purchase intent behind them. They're low converting, which means that often the shoppers who type these keywords into the Etsy search are just using them to gather ideas before they refine that search and start getting a little bit more precise with what they're typing in. So for example, if Mark was shopping for me for my birthday and he went to Etsy and he typed in birthday gift for wife, that doesn't really point to a very specific type of item. It's going to be, it's going to be a little bit wishy-washy. Even that would be a long tail keyword though. Maybe he just types in mug. He wants to get me a mug, right? But he doesn't know what kind. So he starts with mug and he scrolls through a bunch, but then he notices that there are some really cool ones that have like little clay mushrooms on them and little bunny rabbits. And he thinks that I would like that type of mug. So he refines his search and maybe he refines it to mushroom mug. And he scrolls through all of those search terms. So mug is our head keyword, right? Mushroom mug, we're getting a little bit more specific, but the more keywords that we add into that string, the more specific that query becomes, the more purchase intent Mark has because he's getting closer and closer and closer. So maybe he does like cottagecore mushroom mug. He's getting closer to the item that he is actually going to buy. Now, if you are listing a mug on Etsy and you only use head keywords like mug or just mushroom mug as your title, you're not going to be hitting those shoppers that have fantastic purchase intent, which is what we want. We want shoppers who are very close to wanting to buy. So today we're going to identify some head keywords. We're going to identify some long tail keywords. Long tail keywords, again, those are the ones that have more purchase intent. You can usually identify them by their length. And they usually have 3 words or more, but there are also some tricky terms that, where the number of words don't necessarily dictate whether or not it is a long tail keyword. For example, women's tank top. That's 3 words, but that would still be a head keyword because it isn't pointing to a specific type of item. Women's tank top, there are a million different designs that could be on it. But if it was women's blue Easter tank top, okay, now we're getting a little bit more specific, okay? And those are the types of keywords that you want. Now, the cool thing is that you can rank and search both for the head keywords and the long tail keywords. So even if you are, cramming a bunch of keywords together to make your long tail keywords, you're still ranking for the little words individually. And that's the difference between our broad matching and our exact matching. So broad matching, this is Etsy's way of taking every single keyword in your tags and titles, and they're almost playing a little game where they are able to see all of those keywords in any possible combination, even if they're not right next to each other. It's almost like, have you ever seen those magnets that you can buy where it's a bunch of little words and people can, husbands and wives, every time they go to the fridge, they'll like make a little sentence to each other. They've got all different topics. They've got funny packs. They've got curse word packs. They've got love packs. It's kind of the same thing where Etsy is able to read those in any combination. And you can also get even more Etsy SEO brownie points for exact matching, which is where those words are in the exact order that most customers are searching for them. Using a tool like, eRank, you can kind of identify some great exact match terms. But even if you can't get perfect exact matches every time, especially with your tags, because you only have, 13 characters? No, not 13 characters, 20. 20, I think. 20
I don't remember
characters.
the exact number.
I think it's 20. Somebody fact check me. 20 characters for your tags. You just have to divide them out in areas that make the most sense. And sometimes that messes up your exact matches, but you still broad match. So I know that this sounds super confusing, but hopefully through our examples today, you guys will be able to figure things out a little bit easier. And this will help those of you who have been confused about these 4 categories, or I guess it's 2, the types of keywords and then, the types of matching. So what we're going to be doing today is grabbing some words from this board that I made. A lot of these are recycled from from the video that we did last time. But I tried to throw in a couple new ones just, so we could get creative. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of these terms and start it as our head keyword. It needs to be related to a product. So, Mr. Moore, what word, and it needs to be one of the product terms, one of the types of items.
Oh, man. Let's go with wallet.
Wallet. Where? Right here?
Yeah.
All right. So we will drag wallet up into our head keyword. So by itself, it doesn't point to a specific type of wallet. Is it leather? Is it a duct tape wallet? Is it made out of, canvas? Is it a woman's wallet for her purse, or is it a wallet for a back pocket? What type of wallet is it? So we don't have a lot of purchase intent with the word wallet by itself. Let's go down and play around with some other terms and see if we can turn wallet into a long tail keyword. And then we'll start looking at all the different ways that we can both broad match and exact match. So let's say, leather. How about leather? We can say it's a leather wallet. And again, these are all hypothetical products, right? I was thinking coffee, like coffee colored. Chunky, like chunky knit blanket, chunky.
I know what it's for. Maybe I want a chunky wallet.
You want a chunky wallet?
Maybe it's a chunky wallet. Maybe it's like a wallet with a spot for an air tag, and you made it look like a chunky Buddha belly, so it's a chunky wallet.
Chunky wallet.
It's a chunky.
Those are bad for your back. Chunky wallets.
You didn't get the reference.
I did. I did get the reference. I was ignoring it
because you should leave.
Because it was that. Does anybody watch? I think you should leave. Let's do gifts for men. That's
gifts for men.
Gifts for men. Wallets can be gifts for men, right?
Anniversary
gifts
you
for
get
men.
him, her, they, them, the wallet that they desperately need.
Yeah, anniversary gifts.
Wallet's something men. You don't buy for yourself most of the time.
Let's see.
Chunky wallet full of money, but I'm not selling a wallet full of money. I feel like that's counterintuitive.
Let's see. I think that is good. I wanted to do, I was hoping that I had the term color or colored, coffee colored wallet.
You didn't.
No, I didn't.
Dad.
Well, we've got men already.
Yeah, but that's not dad.
I'm gonna cheat. Go ahead and put colored. We can add that one into our collection of keywords.
Colored 1L.
Yes.
Can I English? I can't English today, guys.
Okay, so we've got our little collection. Can't talk today either. I've got our little collection of keywords that on their own, just kind of floating around, not a lot of power. So let's try to identify some head keywords. Now, again, as you start to identify, long tail keywords. I'm so jumbled. As you start to identify your long tail keywords, it's also important to make sure that you are double checking all of these in eRank. I don't hold the knowledge of all of the keywords all the time and all of their search numbers. I always have people ask me, how many searches does blue Gildan t-shirt get for print on demand? I'm like, I don't know. I don't memorize these things. You got to go to eRank and look it up yourself. It'll take you just as long as it'll take me. So everything that we're doing today is hypothetical. These are just imaginary products. You would always want to double check these in eRank to see what their search volumes actually look like. Okay. So we're just doing things that sound like they would make sense for the purpose of, doing the demonstration. So let's do coffee colored
leather wallet.
Leather. Yeah. A wallet. And then I would do a / you can try to structure these as a nice sentence. It really doesn't matter in terms of Etsy's algorithm. While they do say that we want to make sure that we're structuring these as short descriptive sentences. That is for our shoppers. It is so our titles are more readable. However, Etsy's algorithm doesn't care either way. And I know a lot of you will say, well, the listing audit and eRank told me that my title is too long. That's just because Etsy's best practices say that our title should be short. But as long as it isn't just a big, confusing jumble of keywords all shoved together that you likely wouldn't be getting good long tail keywords for doing that anyway, you're fine. You don't need to make it absolutely perfect. And I will also say that test both strategies, test short sentences, test little structured keyword strings, because you're going to see different results just depending on things like your listing quality scores, your customer and marketplace experience score. Everybody is going to have a completely different experience. So coffee colored leather wallet, and we'll say / anniversary gifts for men. That looks good to me for now, just based on working with what we had. Now, what we're going to be exact matching for are terms like coffee colored leather. Because here, what we'll do is we will
copy paste.
Yeah, we'll do coffee colored leather. We are also going to exact match for leather wallet, right? Because these are all right next to each other. We will, let's see.
Anniversary gifts.
Yeah, we would technically, I can actually, can you delete? Yeah, there we go.
Got you, girl.
We're going to exact match for anniversary gifts. That one would be pretty hard to rank for. Then again, leather wallet would be as well. So we're getting all these great, do you see any other good exact matches that I'm missing?
I mean, not that aren't already maintained in there, like colored leather.
Colored leather, yeah, because we're not really selling colored leather. We would exact match for it. Colored leather wallet.
I mean, gifts for men.
Gifts for men. Yeah, you're right. Gifts for men. I think colored leather wallet, like, that might, if I was looking for that, I would be looking for like blue or something.
Yeah.
But still, we're still technically exact matching. Okay, so these are the terms that are right next to each other, right? They are directly beside each other. So these are some of the terms that we would exact match for. Now let's get a little crazy with it. Let's look at the things that we would broad match for, which is where it gets really fun, okay?
You have the most awesome YouTube name ever. That is a long title. The only Nikatasha on the face of the planet.
That's awesome.
Love it.
I would use that, but I'm not the only Starla.
I'll even do the hand for you.
So let's do coffee gifts for men.
Coffee gifts for men. Yeah.
See, these terms aren't right next to each other.
And they're not exactly what you're looking for, but if people are looking for leather wallets, they're probably the same kind of people that like coffee, right?
Right. Wallet for men. We would broad match for
just put wallet and men up there.
Yeah, we would broad match for wallet for men. Because those,
you don't need to put the 4. We get it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll put it.
Does anyone not understand it without the 4? Maybe we'll make one that just says 4 for the next one.
How about
colored wallet?
Colored.
I mean, there's a good chance that Etsy will categorize the word colored with colors, right?
Right.
So,
and then you could in your attributes, if you filled out brown as one of your attributes. So colored wallet, we're gonna broad match for that. Does anybody else see any good ones that I
mean, coffee wallet.
Coffee. Yeah, I mean, you would technically,
because it's some people might specifically just search for the terms coffee wallet, like if they want the color,
the coffee color. Yeah. Especially since that is a trending color, that coffee and terracotta.
Are we talking about what would fit in Etsy's tag word section or the item subject line? Rather long for tag word limitations, if I'm following.
It sounds like you joined a little bit late. So what we're specifically discussing, we're not talking about entering these tags right now. What we're talking about is head keywords and long tail keywords. So those are your very, very broad keywords, your very specific keywords. and broad matching and exact matching. Now, what you're asking is a good question though. So tags, if one of our keywords that we wanted to rank for was
Coffee colored leather.
coffee colored leather wallet, we'll say. We want this to be one of our tags. Well, here's the problem. This is too many characters to fit in a tag. You can only fit 20. So we can't exact match in our tags. We can in our title, but we cannot exact match in our tags for coffee colored leather wallet.
Too many letters.
It's too many. It's too many characters. So what we need to do at this point is we need to break this up in the place that makes the most sense. Okay. So what makes the most sense here? Most sense here. I would say that, this is an easy one. Leather wallet should be its own tag. And coffee colored should be their own tags, right? So we won't get an exact match for coffee colored leather wallet, but we can get an exact match for coffee colored and leather wallet.
And then we're broad matching
for the full term.
For the full term. Yep.
Exactly. And if you already have coffee colored leather wallet in your title, what you're doing is you're sending Etsy very strong signals that what you are selling is a coffee colored leather wallet. And if you can reiterate that somewhere in your description, coffee colored leather wallet, you are sending even stronger signals, right? Because what you want to be known for is, and this is what we call superstar keywords over at eRank, you want to be known for coffee colored leather wallet. So regardless of whether or not, you're able to get them all into one tag, you can still broad match for them and exact match for those smaller terms within them. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I think we did a pretty good job on this one.
I think we did too. Somebody said their kids said, what was it? Coffee anniversary gifts would have been.
Oh, yeah. Coffee anniversary gifts. Let's see. We'll go ahead and lock these so I can just easily grab and delete.
Lock them.
All right, so let's go down.
Lock them, sock them, robots.
You know what? I shouldn't have done that because I deleted those terms. I've just made it.
Control Z. Scroll up.
What? Oh, no, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Look at that.
Because I don't think we're going to use them again.
Well, you might.
Well, yeah, colored and coffee. I might want to use those again. You're right. All right, so let's put a couple of these back. And
gifts for men.
Gifts for men. Anniversary.
I could just Control Z until it's back to the shape that it was in.
That's all right. I got it. That was it.
It wouldn't take that long.
So let's do, this is one that we did during our last stream and I liked it because it was fun. Let's do beard oil. Here's one for the guys or girls with
bearded ladies. We don't discriminate.
No. All right. So
shout out to my bearded lady crew.
Let's do beard oil. Okay. This is our head keyword. It is 2 terms. It's not a single word keyword. However, it doesn't point to a very specific type of product. What type of beard oil is it?
And you're probably not selling a beard, so.
Yeah, so you don't
We'll stick it together.
Right, we don't need to broad match for just beard. I don't think that anybody's buying beards. I mean, they might be for costumes. So let's do beard oil. And let's do lavender. Scented. We could do
self-care. Yeah.
Self-care. Let's see. I think that this could be a gifts for, we did men. Let's do dad because Father's Day is coming up. Are there any other good ones in here that I missed? Ooh, we could have done leather scented beard oil.
Well, maybe it's in a llama shaped bottle.
Llama shaped.
Llama shaped lavender scented self-care beard oil gift for dad.
I think we got a good one here. All right.
Masculine.
Amber
said masculine.
Let's do.
Maybe I don't want masculine beard oil. Maybe I want a feminine beard oil.
I was gonna say he only wears like mostly Bath and Body Works perfume scents because they smell so good.
When I'm not wearing my bougie stuff.
Bougie. All right. So beard oil, scented, lavender, gifts for self-care, and dad. So these are all head keywords on their own, not very powerful. You're probably not going to rank for any of these terms by themselves, especially since the searches, I'm sure, for things like dad, self-care, lavender are probably insane. Nor do they really point to a specific type of product. So let's see what long tail keywords. Let's do
lavender scented beard oil.
Lavender scented beard oil,
Mm-hmm. Self-care gifts for dad.
self-care, whoop, gifts for dad. That looks good. I think, you know, based on this tiny little board.
That alone could be a title, even though you could fit more in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now let's see what exact matches we have here. So lavender scented beard oil, obviously, that's a good exact match. Self-care gifts for dad, that's another great exact match. Scented beard oil.
Scented beard oil, yeah.
Maybe they don't know what scent they want, so they just type in scented beard oil to
which
see
would
what their
lead them
options
to opening your shop and figuring out what else you have.
Let's see.
Lavender dad.
Lavender, that would be a broad match. Self-care gifts.
Yeah.
So we'll just pretend that the 4 isn't in there. It's not necessary.
It's not real. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's not real. Birds aren't real. All right, so self-care gifts, perfect. Do you guys see any other good ones that I'm missing? Any obvious ones?
Scented self-care dad.
Scented self-care dad. That would be a broad match. Lavender scented. Did we do that by itself?
No, we didn't.
Lavender scented. Maybe you know you want something lavender scented, but you don't know.
Who doesn't?
Lavender?
Lavender's amazing.
French lavender scents. Okay. I think that this one looks pretty good.
I have to do some gin and lavender lemonades this weekend.
All right. So now let's get funky with the broad matching and see what crazy combinations we can come up with. Okay. So I'm going to do lavender beard oil. Because that one seems like a pretty darn good broad match.
We didn't just do gifts for dad in the exact match.
Oh, you're right. Gifts for dad.
Moondice pointed that out. Lavender scented self-care.
Lavender scented self-care. Yeah, because they might be searching for like lavender scented self-care. Like,
do you separate the two sentences by commas? Lavender scented beard oil, self-care gifts for dad, or all one sentence? It really doesn't matter.
I would definitely either put some type of divider, a comma. You could do a // That's what I like to do because I like the aesthetic.
Though that's more for aesthetic than actual, like, it matters to the system. It doesn't. That's just a delimiter. That's a way for you to break it up for yourself and for readers.
Yeah.
Dad scented. Yeah, see, that could be bad though.
Dad scented. Hey,
ew.
It's a term. Depends on if dad.
I don't think lavender when I think dad scented. I think like car oil and butt sweat.
My dad always smells like bod man, fragrance spray.
A little bit of that old cigarette smell covered up with musk.
My dad didn't smoke, so I have different dad smells.
I'm sure there's at least 100 people here with fond memories of a dad with cigarette smell covered up with musk.
Yeah, probably.
That's how I grew up.
How about lavender gifts for dad? Maybe dad really likes lavender. Lavender gifts for dad. Any other good ones? Old dad scented.
Man bun scented.
Man bun scented. I think that we've got some.
Man bun scented is just whatever the most recent Prada cologne is.
This looks good though. Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied? Is this something that people are actually learning from, or am I?
No, there's people saying thank you.
Okay. Sometimes when I do these wackadoo examples, I'm like, oh, no.
This is the thing is we present the same information almost every week, and having new formats in which to present the information makes it new and fresh.
All right.
Smells like beer and bad decisions. That's not what it should, but.
Let's do mug. Let's start with mug. So mug will be our head keyword. If you're just typing mug into Etsy, you probably don't know what you want. You're just trying to get some ideas, right? It's not going to likely result in very much traffic if you just had mug as your title and tags. So let's see how we can turn mug into a long tail keyword. Coffee. It could be a coffee mug.
Yeah. Could be a leather mug.
I doubled up. I drafted this back down here.
You did. That's fine. That's fine. Fun.
Fun? Where was fun?
Right side, middle.
Oh, fun. Fun.
Cat. Bottom left.
Cat.
Christmas.
Where's Christmas?
Bottom middle.
Yeah. Christmas. Okay.
Uh,
For mom?
For mom.
Christmas gifts for mom? Because we already did dad and men.
You can't guess. We really like gifts for. It's a good cop.
When you can't think of anything else.
It's a good cop out.
It's not always easy to find good terms, but for example, I found like great gifts for social worker or something a couple weeks ago. And it was so great because there were so many people searching it and there were
Really?
there were like no products for it.
That's crazy.
Okay. I think that this looks good so far.
Let me see this.
What?
Somebody said, so they're laughing at a Father's Day.
What?
Disappointment, a wax scent for Father's Day. Oh boy. Some of these comments
Teacher?
are pretty wild.
Teacher would have been a good one too. I bet gifts for teacher would have been you would probably be able to rank a lot easier for gifts for teacher than you would for gifts for mom.
Somebody said that man bun Prada comment was on point. What am I wearing today, sweetheart?
Sausage.
No. And it's Salvage.
But
no, that's not today.
Versace. Are you wearing Versace today?
I'm wearing Versace today because
Yeah.
I've got my man bun in. It's Eros Flame, not
Oh.
Eros. It's the red one.
Got it.
It's the red one. It's $10 more, so it smells $10 better.
I'm wearing Bath and Body Works $10.99 Pina Colada fragrance mist. All right, so let's do
Get it for your husband. You won't be disappointed.
fun cat mug. He wears it too. He likes that coconut scented.
Oh, I'd love
Perfume.
it. Everything Bath and Body Works make. I'm not gonna say everything. Their recent collection this spring was
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
wasn't very good. Anyway,
Fun cat coffee mug. Fun. Ooh, let's do fun Christmas cat coffee mug. We'll pretend that we're making a Christmas cat mug, okay? Look at that long tail keyword. Look at that. Fun Christmas cat coffee mug.
fun Christmas cat coffee mug gift for mom. Self-care. Mom gifts for. You put. We're a little distracted today, if you can't tell.
I have an ear infection and I've got vertigo and the spins
Amber said, "This is what marital abuse looks like, guys.
this is it.
This is it.
This is the extent of it.
This is peak blue collar husband wife beating."
Gifts for mom. I was trying to find a better descriptor. Fun Christmas cat coffee mug. Gifts for mom. I should have did stocking stuffers. That's okay. We'll broad match for Christmas gifts for mom. All right, so let's do our exact matches. Fun Christmas cat, maybe or even just Christmas cat. In fact, I think Christmas cat would probably be something people would search for more.
Yeah.
Cat coffee mug.
Cat coffee mug.
Christmas cat coffee mug. I would buy a Christmas cat coffee mug.
I mean, Christmas cat on its own,
Christmas
probably.
cat? Yeah. Christmas cat. Oh, Christmas cat. Oh, Christmas cat. Okay. And then gifts for mom. Ooh. Mug gifts for mom. Because mug would be right next to
Yeah.
gifts. Mug gifts for mom. There's a lot of good ones in here. Cat coffee.
Big Zed, we already talked about that. You'll have to go back and watch the replay.
Yes. Well, we can talk about it a little bit towards the end, but we just covered that a few minutes ago.
Yeah, like 5 minutes.
Just
ago.
break them up in the way that makes the most sense for your tags. That's the short answer. If it was, Christmas cat coffee mug.
We're not like teaching a magical trick here. This is just for example.
Yeah. If it's Christmas cat coffee mug, you're not selling I would do Christmas cat and coffee mug broken that way.
I wouldn't. I would do cat coffee mug.
You're right. If it would fit, coffee mug would.
Cat coffee mug would fit, and that's the one that I would do.
And I would do Christmas gifts.
Christmas gifts for mom.
Yeah, if it would fit, or Christmas gifts, and then for mom as a tag.
Yeah. Break it up in the way that makes the most sense.
Maybe fun Christmas.
Fun Christmas, sure. Why not?
Fun Christmas.
Fun Christmas cat. That's probably not one.
Fun Christmas cat.
I don't think anybody's searching fun Christmas cat.
All right, so here's our exact match terms that we would be able to get. I am positive that we will be able to get some crazy long tail keywords from this jumble. So coffee, gifts for mom would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Same with cat gifts for mom. You guys also get to learn how to use and abuse Canva today, apparently. Cat gifts for mom. Okay, so that would be something that we would broad match for. Let's see, Christmas gifts for mom. We would broad match for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
These are awesome. These are
fun gifts for mom.
Fun gifts for mom. We've got all the gifts from
Mom's finally gonna be the one having a good Christmas.
I know. It was all dad with his wallet and beard oil.
I know it's very broad, but single words like dad and mom have very high search counts according to eRank Tag Cloud again, but very broad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's kind of the point we were making, is that by themselves as head keywords,
They're poopy.
They are kind of bad.
They're the big poops.
And I think I said a few minutes ago that somebody had said teacher, and I said, yes, teacher would have actually been a stronger term because it's more specific. But
yes,
we're not coming up with the words on the fly. We're selecting them based on a board that I have created.
This is totally random and not to be followed exactly verbatim.
Right. We're not creating converting keywords here that you should be adding to your Etsy shop.
No, we're showing you how easy it can be if you kind of break things down into a smaller science.
Right, and how to identify what the difference between a head keyword and a long tail keyword is, and what you will still rank for in search, even if your words aren't necessarily next to each other. You know, you might really want to rank for coffee gifts for mom, but there's just no way that you could get that into a good sentence. But you're still, as long as those terms are somewhere in your tags, in any combination, you can still rank for coffee gifts for mom because you would broad match for it. Obviously, exact matches are better. If you can get an exact match, both in your tags and titles, that is great. Try to do that. But there are limitations, like you all have said. You know, there are only so many characters you can fit into your Etsy tags. So just break them up in the way that makes the most sense. If you can get that exact match in your title and the broad match in your tags, that's great. That is ideal because it's very unlikely that you'll be able to get all of your superstar keywords to fit in a single tag.
Frosty Lab, does Etsy count mom and mother as the same word? Based on their spell checks, I wonder if they have synonyms included. I think so.
Synonyms, yes, but mom and mother are a little bit different. So I'm actually not sure on that one. That's a question for Anthony Wolf.
Yeah, I don't know if something that specific, maybe. For the most part, yes. Usually synonyms are included.
How about fun cat mug?
But don't think about that in your research. Don't think too much about like trying to discount other words because it has a synonym already. Don't.
Right.
Exact matching is probably still different than synonym exact matching. Who knows how their algorithm actually works?
Christmas coffee mug.
Yeah.
Or Christmas cat mom mug.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just cat mom mug, honestly.
Or just cat mug.
I think I did cat mug, or maybe I didn't.
You did fun cat mug.
Oh, okay. Well, even
that still falls in. You can break it down further.
Cat mom mug, cat mug, mom mug. You're going to broad match for these terms in any combination. So, that's the gist of it. And for everybody who had asked about the tags, I will reiterate it one more time. If our main superstar, get out of here, fun.
No fun allowed.
No fun allowed.
No fun allowed, so says Reddit.
If we were to, be trying to exact match for the term fun Christmas cat coffee mug, or we'll just do Christmas cat coffee mug, okay? We'll say that we looked on eRank and we did a bunch of research and we found a huge gap in the market. Christmas cat coffee mugs, everyone's searching for them. There's high demand, low supply. You want to jump on this trend. You want to create Christmas cat coffee mugs. You throw up your listings. You put Christmas cat coffee mug in your title. That's great. That fits. Now you get to your tags. You really want to get an exact match, but oh fudge, Christmas cat coffee mug is too long. Where do you break it up? You could break it up as Christmas cat and coffee mug as two tags, but what I would do is go to eRank and see which exact match is better. See which of those exact matches has the most searches. Does Christmas cat and coffee mug have the best search results, or does cat coffee mug have better searches? And if cat coffee mug has better searches and it fits in your tags, we'll make this a tag, and we'll take Christmas rather than making a one-word tag. We've got gifts for, we'll do Christmas gifts for. Because then we're going to broad match. Maybe we make one tag that is mom, dad, and this is our tag.
Mom, dad.
Mom, dad. Because the thing is, even though mom, dad as a tag doesn't make a lot of sense, we will broad match for Christmas gifts for mom and Christmas gifts for dad.
And gifts for dad and gifts for mom.
So even if they're, yeah, exactly. So even if they're crammed into one tag and it doesn't make a lot of sense that way, that's okay. Once you get about 8 tags filled out, you'll start scrambling. That 8 is where I start having trouble. Then that's when you can throw in a couple of those one-off terms, mom, dad, teacher. If you don't know anything else to fit in your tags, experiment a little bit. Have some fun with it. Don't worry if all of your tags are not perfect. This can be a tag. Mom, dad can be a tag, because Etsy is still going to identify those words separately and be able to put, maybe they identify cat coffee mug or cat dad.
Cat dad.
Cat dad.
Cat dad.
Cat dad. Cat dad coffee mug.
That's me. I am cat dad. All right, we're probably good to go back to the screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it here, though.
And
I'm only going to bring the questions because there were quite a few questions.
That's fine.
I don't know if we're going to need this one or not. So
that's fine. We can leave it up if we need to go back to it.
You guys are good to get your questions in. If you've already asked your question, please do not repeat it. I'm going to go up just a little bit here. Let's see here. And you guys do not have to ask questions about the topic at hand. Any general business questions. If you want to ask us about life itself and the meaning of life, that's fine too.
Yeah, we read that one.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just going through them all. I'm on it today, so.
All right.
La la la.
Musculin. That sounds stinky. That sounds like the right when the beefy guy gets back from the gym. He smells very muscular.
Do we know the demographics of Etsy shoppers? Are most Etsy shoppers women?
Yes.
Most, not all though. It's the divide is
it is starting to meet in the middle.
Yeah, it's like 35% men or something like that. Don't quote me on the exact number. I can't remember. We have it somewhere.
We do.
We have it on with our eRank data.
Yeah. Again, that would be a great question to post in the eRank group. For those who don't know, if you're new here, first of all, welcome. But Mark and I are eRank managers. So, Etsy SEO is kind of what we do all day, every day. But the eRank group is a great resource. And if you ask over there and tag Anthony Wolf specifically, don't you guys tag him for every question. He is the CEO. He's very busy. But that might be a question that he would like to answer, Miranda.
Is anyone using AI yet for Etsy shops? There's a ton of people using it for Etsy shops. However, it is a big risk because it's still kind of new. And there's a mild chance that it will be made not okay, either legally or by Etsy itself.
Do you mean making products with AI or using Chat GPT to do your descriptions and things?
The Chat GPT thing's probably fine.
It is. Just make sure that you're reading everything carefully. Don't just let it write everything for you, because it's not programmed to keyword optimize your descriptions the way that you want it to. So just be careful. French lavender is the best.
Disappointment, a wax scent for your Father's Day.
You guys crack me up.
You guys are great. I feel like we have a lot of dads who went out for milk and didn't come back in the comments here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My daughter, my daughter, not your daughter, my daughter.
No, your daughter, not mine.
Our daughter. She couple weeks ago, she was on the phone with her friends and she said something about dad went to get the milk. And I was like, Taylor, honey, do you understand what that means? And she went, no. And I said, it's when dad leaves and then never comes back. He says he's going to get the milk. And she was like, oh, I said, I hope you haven't been telling your friends that your dad went to get the milk.
Now every time that she makes me mad, I tell her I'm going to get the milk.
And
she goes, no.
Oh God, she's hilarious. She is a little memer.
I'm wearing soap. That's got to be uncomfortable. I'm wearing my natural scent. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing my natural scent. Okay.
Front yard camera. That means I need to go get our packages before they get rained on.
Okay, I can keep going.
Yeah, keep going. It's raining outside, and we both got products being delivered today.
Yeah, I've got stuff that can't get wet. Okay, so let's see. We're so far up. Okay. So do our tags have to be exact matches? No, absolutely not. But if you can get some exact matches, cool. You're going to get some exact matches in there. If our term was cat coffee mug for mom, that won't fit. But you can get cat coffee mug and for mom, and you will still exact match for cat coffee mug and for mom, because even though you can't, fit that whole thing in there, you're still exact matching for the cat coffee mug. And for mom obviously isn't as strong of a keyword, but combination, broad matching and exact matching. There's no way to always get perfect exact matches for your title and tags. You have to compromise. Let's see. If you wanted to target different groups of keywords with the same product, would you duplicate the listing and rework the title? I would not. And I've been getting this question a lot lately. Let me know if there's like an Etsy YouTuber saying this. If you are testing and experimenting and trying to decide which keywords are best, should I use this combination or this combination? A/B split testing is perfectly fine. You can A/B split test a couple of your listings where you duplicate a listing with different keywords to see which are best. But what I wouldn't want to see everybody doing is going through and duplicating all of their listings. We talked about this during eRank Q&A with Anthony Wolf yesterday too. Duplicating all of your listings for the sake of trying to like hit a bunch of different categories. Be selective, because first of all, Etsy is identifying what they think you want to be known for.
They're categorizing you.
Exactly. And if you are trying to be known for everything and trying to target this group and that group and this group and that group, and I want to target cat moms and cigar smoking dads and sports stars and I don't know, pediatricians, all in my Etsy shop, Etsy's going to say, what the heck does this person actually want to be known for? There's no keyword consistency, topical consistency. Etsy's looking for those signals. They want to know, okay, Julia constantly lists cat-themed coffee mugs. All of her listings are cat-themed coffee mugs. Julia is the expert for cat-themed coffee mugs. She wants to be known for cat-themed coffee mugs. Therefore, when somebody is searching for a cat-themed coffee mug, we're going to make sure to show Julia's listings more frequently to this person, because we know that Julia, for one, she specializes in them. It's all she sells. She has lots of sales for her cat-themed coffee mugs. People seem to be satisfied with her purchases. They're leaving good reviews. She's got high listing quality scores, high customer and marketplace experience score. You have carved yourself a niche in cat-themed coffee mugs. If you're trying to appeal to everybody and everything and making just as much as you possibly can, you're not really sending signals to Etsy on, what it is that you actually want to be known for. And if you say, oh, I make shirts, though. Shirts are what I want to be known for. I just make shirts for everybody. Shirts is going to be too hard to rank for by itself, right?
At least initially.
Yeah, shirts, you're not going to rank for shirts. Just like if Julia only made mugs and she made mugs for everybody, she's never going to rank for mugs. That's too hard. Cat-themed mugs, though, that's a little bit more specific, right? So I would definitely not go in and duplicate all your listings. For one, it's expensive. You're going to be paying 20 cents for those every time they renew. For two, it's going to confuse Etsy system a little bit. For three, it's a lot of work. And for four, if I'm a customer and I go to your shop and I see two mugs that look identical, but the titles are different and I can't tell the difference between them, maybe there is a difference and I'm just too dumb to figure it out. And I'm not going to take the risk by making that purchase because I'm confused. That's why you don't want to just duplicate a bunch of listings for the sake of duplicating. If you're testing and you're running little experiments and you've got a couple listings that are duplicated, no big deal. That's totally fine. But I don't think that it's good practice to just go duplicate everything for the sake of having as many listings as possible. Nor do I think Etsy would look fondly on that.
No, you were also replying to Julia the whole time, but it was Kelsey.
No, I just pulled Julia's name out of it. I picked a random name from the chat.
When there's a high search, what are the chances that we rank? I mean, there's no real way to tell.
Chances for ranking are dependent on a lot of different things. Keywords are just one of 7 different factors that Etsy tells us that they use for ranking. And there are a bunch of other factors that they don't tell us. Of those 7 factors, ranking actually is I mean, it's high on the list, but it's not the strongest. I dare say that listing quality score, which is a secret score that Etsy doesn't even tell us. If you've ever made a sale on Etsy and then suddenly like the same day you sell the exact same item or that item just starts selling out of nowhere and then it stops, that's your listing quality score. That's Etsy saying, hey, this thing's selling. Let's show it to a bunch of people and see if we can keep the momentum going.
Similar principle to when you buy something and then suddenly you get 500 Facebook ads for the same thing. Similar principle, but
exactly
in the opposite.
Exactly.
Are we allowed to use color words?
Totally.
Yes. However, be careful of copyright terms. Pantone colors and then brand colors like Tiffany blue. Yeah. What about mom and mum? Okay, so there's a little bit of confusion with that. For the most part, Etsy is good with that. Somebody also asked about plural and stuff like that. Etsy knows the difference, and Etsy can tell. I know this for a fact because I had a conversation with Anthony about it. Etsy themselves know the difference between one and many. It doesn't matter. They go down to the root word when they're actually looking at things. So when it comes to the term that you actually use for that, you should use the one that's honest about what you're selling. If you're selling one, then you use the individual. If you're selling multiple, like you're selling a mint versus mints, use mint, use mints, if that makes sense. Use the one that's the most honest to what you are actually selling.
Yeah.
It does not make a difference either way. And no, you do not have to put both. Putting both in your tags and your description and in your title, you're wasting a space.
Yeah. For mom and mum, though, those are kind of different. So just check eRank. Double check.
From what? eRank isn't a good example for that because eRank cannot differentiate the two terms, but we believe that Etsy can.
Right. But eRank is telling you what people are searching for. So that's why you'll see differences.
Yes.
It's based on searches, not based on how Etsy sees it.
And we've had I've had a few conversations with Anthony about this, like what would be better practice in the situation, like say you live in the UK. Mom, obviously a search for more. There are more people searching for mom than mum, but are those the people that are seeing your listings, or is it people more close to you that are going to be seeing your listings? So like if you live in the UK, it's mostly UK people buying from your shop, right? Other than specific unique circumstances, or if you blow up, then you're shipping worldwide. But then it would be best to use the term that's best. I mean, Amber Marie, I think you're here. What do you use? Do you use any like mom or mum? What is your preferred? Has it made a difference for you?
Cynthia's, if you did fun coffee together, would it separate fun and coffee or not? It would separate them and read them together.
Yes.
It's not this or that, it's both.
It's both.
You would rank
all of them.
They would identify fun coffee. If that was like how you were entering your tag, you mean like fun coffee in a tag, it would read it as fun coffee, which, nobody's searching for fun coffee. Well, maybe they are. I don't know. It would read fun coffee, but it would also read them as fun and coffee and fun coffee mug. Maybe that's a tag that's up here. It's going to read them in both combinations. It's not an either or. It's all all possible combinations.
Sorry, there was a little conversation about plurals.
Oh, okay.
If you make duplicates of your listing, should you make small tweaks to how you list each of them if they're similar products? Example, I have a t-shirt version and a sweatshirt version.
Yeah, I would, because there are things that are going to differentiate. If you had like a design that you wanted on both a t-shirt and a sweatshirt and you wanted to list them separately, then I would just make sure that the keywords are pointing to the differences. So if you want to do the same keywords for what the design is, maybe it's, cute cat with Christmas hat, whatever, Christmas cat is on the shirt and Christmas cat is on the sweatshirt. Just differentiate the keywords that indicate that one is a shirt and one is a sweatshirt. Because somebody who wants a sweatshirt, they're going to search for a sweatshirt, right? Or if somebody wants a t-shirt, they're going to search for a t-shirt. So use the correct words for the product, but the terms about the design that's on it, they can totally be the same. And duplicating those listings does save a lot of time when the design itself is the same.
I wonder how confusing, speaking of our previous conversation here on whether or not it understands things, I wonder if the differences between like, we'll have to ask Anthony, the differences between UK versions of things and US versions of things make a difference. So like the word jumper, the word jumper here is like baby clothing.
Yeah, it would, I believe that it would depend on which version of Etsy you're using.
Yeah, it probably does.
UK has their own version of Etsy.
Yeah, all the countries they sell into.
And I use the UK's version of Etsy for when we're in Alphadept because
that's true.
Because it's under Amber's name.
Yep. Does the placement within your tags matter? For instance, is the first tag more important than, say, your 10th tag?
Nope.
Not to the system. Oh, never mind. We're talking about tags, not titles.
No.
Yeah, no, it doesn't necessarily matter. As long as they're in the as close to the order that you want them to be in as possible is best.
Yeah, but in fact, I just did this on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I give tips over there every single day. And right now I'm doing like an Etsy SEO myths series. I do a post a week about, common myths. But one of the big myths is that, the order of enter your most important tags first. That is...
no, it's not.
That's not true. Etsy weighs them all equally. Don't worry about the order of your tags. It doesn't matter.
When a computer reads something, it does read it in order. However, it's going to read your tag section as a whole and compare it to whatever their database works like.
Yeah.
How do you go about finding all these separate keywords for your product? Keyword tool, keyword explorer, ?
Both work. But the keyword tool is my personal favorite. I feel like I get a lot more value from the keyword tool. There's a lot more bang for your buck from that tool. Keyword Explorer is great if you want to compare to different marketplaces and things, but I really like the keyword tool specifically because you can see common price points for that item. You can see popularity by, the country data that we have. We don't have data for all countries, but you can kind of compare searches based on, how many people in the US are searching versus the UK. I would use the keyword tool for your keyword research primarily. But you can experiment. They are very similar tools, and we have thought about combining them for a while. We just worry that it would slow things down too much on the site
because people are already getting kind of confused by it.
Yeah.
How do I contact a customer about an estimated delivery time on their order? Can I email them outside of Etsy?
Yes, if they're not responding to you, yes, you can email them if it's something that you really need them to know.
Keep it strictly transactional, though. Do not diverge from exactly what you need to say, because technically you're supposed to get their consent to email them off of the platform.
Well, Etsy tells us that we can email them when it's concerning their order. If it's related to their purchase, you can send them an email, but you can't go and say, hey, just messaging you to let you know that I released new products this week, or I'm having a sale.
You can't do that. They have to consent to that. Keep it on Etsy as much as humanly possible. If you're having an issue like you need to ship something out, you need information, and they're not contacting you back, then that's a good time to use email.
Right. I would usually on Etsy, I'd send like 3 Etsy messages, and by the third one, if they hadn't responded
usually
to me,
we just cancel the order.
Yeah, I sometimes you can reach out by email, but some people they place an order and then they don't look. I
shop on the internet when I'm blackout drunk, and then I don't get on it again until I'm drunk again.
We had one order where we're pretty sure the person died because the order came back to me, and then I could not reach them, and they never reached out to me about the order that never arrived, and I refunded it, but I'm just like, did they die? Like, what happened?
That's not as fun as our one that took a trip around the world. They came back to us after like 6 months of just being in transit. And it looked like when you watch like Tom and Jerry and he takes a trip around the world, and he's got the briefcase covered in different stickers from all over the world. It's exactly what this package looked like.
It had a footprint.
It had like a footprint on it and like 4 different languages and stamps and a bunch of stickers from where it just went on a journey.
It went on an adventure.
And then we no longer shipped to Pakistan.
No, it was Russia.
Oh, it was Russia. You're right. You're right. On eRank, when trying to do keyword research most of the time, when I try my head keyword, it populates with a list full of things that don't apply. Copyright materials or materials I don't use. What should I do? Okay, so one thing with that, I actually confirmed there's a small bug when doing certain single word terms. It should be fixed very soon if it hasn't been already, because I had somebody doing a similar thing where they were getting like naughty terms popping up for a specific thing. It should be fixed by now. What eRank is trying to do is similar to like what Etsy does, where it tries to give you exact match and prod match. It's trying to give you terms that are both related to the thing
and ideas
directly, or ideas that are similar to that. So like the one that the person was searching was like, I don't remember what the exact term was, but they were getting a bunch of bachelorette like naughty word terms because the thing that they were searching commonly is also searched when searching for bachelorette party items, right? So eRank is trying to give you recommendations based on what you are inputting if it doesn't have enough to give you exact results for what you are searching for, to give you a general idea.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. But there was a bug last week or the week before where it was just presenting completely irrelevant information. Like it was giving you only recommended items, nothing exact matching. That should be fixed now. If not, it will be soon.
If not, Miranda, Anthony might want to hear from you. If it isn't fixed and you're getting really wonky terms, can you just send me an email to my private email inbox? You know what it is.
I'm actually going to ask Anthony while we're on here if you want to get the next question. I'm going to ask him if that's been fixed.
Okay. It's hard, all caps, hard for new stores to get any traffic in the first few months, question mark. How do people power through this period? It is hard. It's hard because you don't have any trust with Etsy yet. You don't have your customer and marketplace experience score, which is, a score that we don't get to know about, but it's a score that Etsy assigns to every store based on things like, your good credit with Etsy. If you've behaved yourself, you haven't gotten copyright strikes, you're a good seller, you ship your items on time, you get good reviews, nobody's, given you a strike against your shop or reported your shop, things like that. So that's how you build good credit with Etsy. Selling listings, that's telling Etsy, hey, I'm selling, I'm doing good, I'm making money for me, and I'm making money for you, Etsy, because you're my host. And Etsy wants to show listings to more people that sell. They want to take those listings that are selling and try to make them sell more, which a lot of people think, oh, that makes Etsy completely unfair. Well, no. Because Etsy also does this really cool thing when you list a new item, because Etsy knows that listing is starting at 0. You're not going to have a listing quality score yet. It hasn't sold. It hasn't gotten good reviews yet. So rather than putting it all the way at the bottom, Etsy puts that listing a little bit higher in search. They boost it. They give it a little boost for 60 to 90 days that like we talk about. And then, they just kind of gauge how people interact with it. They try to figure out what is interesting about this listing. Are people clicking it? Are they buying it? Are they leaving good reviews for it? And as Etsy assesses that listing, they decide, to show it to more people, or they show it to a different group of people, and it bounces all over the place. So with that in mind, how do you get more traffic to your Etsy shop? My biggest recommendation is to make sure that you are not just sitting and twiddling your thumbs. Get on social media. I've got the 30-day Instagram challenge kit down below. If you don't already have like some good momentum on Instagram, it's my favorite marketing platform right now. Feel free to grab that. It's free. But start trying to get some of that traffic to your Etsy shop externally, because what that's going to do is if somebody buys that listing because they saw it on social media, or, you told a friend, you told your friend that you just started an Etsy shop and they want to buy something from you. And that's another really great thing, by the way. If you've got friends and family that want to buy from you.
Yeah.
I know that it sucks to give a little bit of that money to Etsy for the fees, and it's just super easy to maybe drive it to their house. But I would ask them to place their order on Etsy.
Sale's a sale.
Because it's a sale. You didn't, you can't, tell people to buy your listings and leave you good reviews to try to boost your numbers. That's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. But if they genuinely want to buy from you because they like your product,
ask them to buy it from
Etsy. Tell them to buy directly. It's going to help your listing quality scores. That's going to help your listings get seen by more people.
Yeah, nothing illegal about that.
And just a reminder that, we're about to enter what we call the spring and summer slump.
About to get the hard suck if you haven't shopped or sold. If you haven't sold, sorry, I got wet mouth. If you haven't sold on Etsy for more than a year, or you haven't sold during the summer, it usually gets, for some people, you're going to get a huge jump, but a lot of you are going to get the big suck this year. So
Yeah.
It happens.
Spring and summer are slow. And we talked about this a lot yesterday over at eRank. And even Anthony Wolf commented on it. That replay is available over on eRank's YouTube channel.
Go check it out.
Yeah. But
it's a video.
It is a video. But yeah, things slow down a lot during spring and summer because people are, we've got a lot of things going on in the world right now. If you haven't noticed, we don't get political here.
Things are kind of crazy.
But things are a little crazy and people are scared and they're saving money. And that's understandable.
Yeah. We're living through new world-changing events daily.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. I'm pretty sick of world-changing events.
Exactly.
If we could just get like a day off, that'd be cool.
Okay.
I feel like we skipped down a little bit here.
No, we are right where we are.
We are right where we are.
Yes.
That is correct on the internet.
We're under the heart.
We are somewhere. It's in there somewhere.
Under the heart.
There it is.
Yes.
I figured it out. Sorry, I'm so abusive. USPS lost the package, but it said it was delivered. Etsy said to open a case to fix the issue. Would that hurt my shop overall?
No. Wait, are you a buyer or are you a seller? I'm assuming that you're a seller. If USPS lost the package but said that it's delivered, you technically should qualify for Etsy's purchase protection, but it would be your customer, the buyer, who would need to file that. Is it going to hurt your shop? Probably not, but I don't know if you qualify for purchase protection. So it depends on what the customer does and if they are willing to wait it out. Now, the best way to avoid your customer getting upset and, leaving a bad review, which can hurt your shop, or reporting your shop, is to keep open and very, very kind communication with them because they're scared. They don't want to feel like they just missed out on a product. I typically recommend that if you can do it, just, if you can reship the item for them, that's what I would hope if I bought from somebody and the item never arrived. But there's always the risk that it was, that it really was lost, or it also depends on how long ago it said that it was delivered. Sometimes things say that they were delivered and they weren't delivered because they're still sitting on the truck and it can take a few days for it to actually be delivered. So communicating with your customer is important. And making sure that, you have your customers back. In terms of the purchase protection program, you'll have to read the qualification rules for that. I actually did a video on it a couple weeks ago. I can't remember offhand all of the things that you have to do to qualify for it.
I have a second Etsy shop that I put on vacation mode. I want to revamp it and change the name. How many times can you rename an Etsy shop?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
I think it's infinite, but you don't want to do it too many times. Otherwise, you're going to lose your audience.
I've only done it once, so I'm actually not sure. I know you can do it at least once. I'm pretty sure. But I'm not sure how many times. It's the cat.
Oh, okay. I have a question about the trademark website. I'm not sure what to look for once you search a phrase. I searched for kind vibes only, and it said something about abandon. I didn't understand.
Abandon means that somebody owned it and they did not renew their trademark, but that does not mean that it's safe. They can come and grab it at any time, or somebody else could buy it. I really hate to say it, but if the trademark is for the same types of products, if it's for, shirts or something, I would avoid it or try to reword it in a different way.
You can change the name 5 times.
5 times? Cool.
Once. One, then you have to ask Etsy the 3rd time.
Okay.
Trauma is humor and art, right? Yes.
It is.
most traumatized people I know are artists in some way. So in our tags, we should try not to repeat keywords unless we're trying to exact match.
Yeah, even Etsy tells us that there's no reason to repeat.
And bro,
keywords.
We're all human. If you
bro. Haley, bro.
Who says she can't be a bro?
We're all bros here.
That's right. You completely threw me off my train of thought.
Who's to say something?
Oh, we're all human. We sometimes can't think of anything else. And if you just kind of need to stuff the rest of your keywords, then repeating is fine.
Yeah.
That's most of the time what we do. If we want a bunch of exact matches for something and we can't think of anything else, just stuff the same term in there with a bunch of other stuff.
Right. Etsy tells us we don't have to. You're not going to get extra points for using the same term over and over. And in most cases, people do waste a lot of space by saying silver necklace, blue necklace, gemstone necklace, dolphin necklace, ocean necklace. That's a lot of wasted space.
Yeah.
Put necklace in over and over. But, you know, if you want to try to exact match for 2 terms and you need to toss in an extra term twice, it's probably not that big a deal. Test, experiment. It's not going to hurt you.
Dulcie said we're all bros here and dudes and mans. Dude, bro, man, guys. How do you know when to change the title and tags? Very little traffic in my store and some items listed for 2 months now.
Ashley, I've got a video on my channel from a couple weeks ago. It's been like 6 weeks, I think, something like that. Anyway, it's how to make your Etsy listing sell, I believe is the name of the video. That one actually goes through my exact order of things that I would recommend doing if your listings aren't selling before you touch your keywords. Because tweaking your keywords constantly, I mean, that might not be the issue. It could be something as simple as customers just aren't a fan of your thumbnail. And it can be crazy because you could think that your thumbnail is fantastic and it could be a great quality photo, but for some reason it just isn't the one that your customers or, you know, shoppers want to click on, which has happened to me. I've had some great photos and then I've just swapped them out for photos that weren't as great, and the not as great photos are the ones that, you know, cause people to click. So I would watch that video. How often should you change your tags and titles? I mean, if they're not bringing you traffic, then I definitely wouldn't change them every day. 60 to 90 days is a good amount of, you know, time to test. So, you know, if your listing has gone through a full 4-month cycle and is up for renewal and didn't sell at all during that period, you might be okay to tweak those keywords. I just wouldn't be surprised if, say, you've got like a Christmas listing that was doing really well and then suddenly it's not selling right now. You know, there's an obvious answer there. You don't need to go change your keywords for that. It's not selling because it's not in season right now. And you can just leave those keywords alone because they'll be good for next season. So I hope that makes sense.
I've been doing niche down research. Etsy will come up with 100 to 200 or even more listings. eRank will say no words were found or something to that effect in the keyword tool. So I'm confused.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at is how many listings are listed. What eRank is showing you is people searching. eRank is showing you how many people are searching for those things. It doesn't matter. I could list a floopty-doopty-dee-dah on Etsy right now.
I love your floopty-doopty-dee-dah.
The floopty-doopty.
I love it.
I could list a floopty-doopty-dee-dah on Etsy right now, and you know, maybe 100 of you go and list floopty-doopty-dee-dahs on Etsy, and that's great. They exist. If you search for them, there will be 100 listings that pop up. But if nobody's searching for them, eRank isn't going to give you any results because nobody's looking for it. eRank is showing you searches. Now, if you are noticing an incongruency with the like actual number of listings coming up, then that is something you need to bring to eRank's attention directly. And I think a lot of people get confused when I say that because I'm a manager at eRank, but I'm not eRank support or development. You've got to actually click that little blue button in the bottom right corner of the eRank screen. And
the little blue button.
Yes, reach out to the girls. We've got Pam and Debbie and Irina. The girls, our eRank girls.
Fern said, I brought the milk. I don't know how to feel about that comment. In what capacity did you bring the milk?
Right there. You can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, in what
That's the capacity.
Method? What?
Cups.
Okay, yeah, it's an adult joke, but we'll just leave it there. How short of a title is best for search results? According to eRank, mine are too long. According to eRank, yours are wrong based on Etsy's best practices, and we don't always have to agree with those.
Yeah, we talked about this already. Etsy tells us that short descriptive sentences are better for customers. Customers like to see those. That has nothing to do with the algorithm. eRank's listing audit tells you Etsy's best practices. We try to keep you as close to Etsy's best practices as possible. However, that does not mean that the algorithm gives a crap how long your titles are.
Nope.
So it doesn't matter. If you are seeing success with short titles, do short titles. If you're seeing success with long titles because you're getting a bigger variety of keywords in there, use longer titles. And a lot of people are like, well, which one's better? Neither. There's no way to say which is better because there are other factors other than keywords that play into each individual shop. Your listing quality score is different than somebody else's listing quality score. Your customer and marketplace experience score is different than somebody else's. And a great example of this is if you went to, you typed in cat mug on Etsy, and you went to the top ranking listing for cat mug on Etsy, and it has like 1 million sales on it, and you go and you steal their exact photo, their exact title, their exact tags, their exact description, and their exact attributes, and you list that in your shop, a lot of people would assume that if I do exactly what they're doing, I should be ranking beside them.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, because that shop has a higher listing quality score because they've been selling that listing for longer. They have accumulated good reviews. They have a good track record with Etsy. They have a good sales history for that listing. So that is why that listing is so high up in search. If keywords were the only ranking factor, then that would be the case. But how easy would it be for everybody to bump each other off that first page and just constantly dogfight their way to the top by adding new listings every single day if the algorithm didn't favor things a little bit, So, yeah, I can't even remember what the original question was.
That's okay.
But I think I answered it.
What camera do you guys use to do your live and YouTube videos? So full rig rundown real quick. We are using a Sony Alpha 7 III camera. For microphone, it is an AKG C414 CL2. For the live streams, we use a Rode Rodecaster Pro 2. It helps us actually route the audio. And then when we record, we're using a Universal Audio Apollo Quad X.
Yeah, if you guys follow me on Instagram over at Handmade Alphas, no spaces, just Handmade Alphas. When we are off stream here in a little bit, after we've had a chance to throw some of the trash away, I will take a picture of the setup and I'll post it in my stories, not in my feed, in my story. So it'll only be there for 24 hours. So make sure that you go look if you want to see it.
Nerd stuff.
Okay.
And we'll hopefully be upgrading to either a Blackmagic or a Red camera in the next couple of months. What's your advice if you think you have a few products that are too niche? I don't see exactly what I'm selling, but similar.
You'll never know if it's too niche until you launch it out into the universe and try to sell it. I always use the example of you could sell hats for cats, and that's cool. There's a market for that. But if you sell bacon scented hats for cats, might not be a big market for that. So you have to ask yourself, is my product catered to a real person? Who buys bacon scented hats for cats? I can't picture that person. Who buys hats for cats? Mark. People like him. You would totally buy a hat for your cat.
Would I buy a hat for my cat?
I think you would.
I would. Because he likes to snuggle, and so he deserves a treat. I have products that have 0 views after 4 months. Should I change up my SEO or wait it out? It's a pretty saturated niche. 4
months. I mean, that's a decent test period. If you want to experiment with other things first before you
make sure your pictures are on point. Make sure your titles are readable.
I would recommend that video that I mentioned earlier. I think it's just called like "Make Your Etsy Listing Sell" or something to that effect. I'm wearing my wolf ugly Christmas sweater in the thumbnail, and I know that the thumbnail is like my reddish pink color yellow combo. It's an eyesore of a thumbnail because I was experimenting with new styles.
And another thing you can do too, I know I say make sure your titles are like readable, not to your eyes. It's something you kind of learn with doing video work. When you type something out and then reading it out loud is completely different. Read your titles out loud. Your titles don't have to 100% be like a perfect sentence front to back. That's not what I'm saying. But like if you say something out loud and it sounds wrong, then to other people, it's probably going to read wrong as well. So that does make a difference.
Oh, and we, thank you from Turkey. We didn't mention again, guys, our fundraiser this week is for Turkey and Syria. We are at $139. So, and I did see that somebody else donated. So we do appreciate that. Please feel free to donate. It is for the Save the Children Foundation. They've been fantastic. We actually supported their charity a couple months ago. What was that? What did we do? That one was for Ukraine that we did with Save the Children. And yeah, we're going to keep doing this one probably for the next month. And then, we'll move to the next charity that, we feel we can help out. So all of our live streams, we always dedicate these to charity.
If you guys have $1 to help out, I mean,
Absolutely.
if everyone here donated $1, that would be almost $300.
Absolutely.
And also, you don't need to repeat your questions. If we get to them, we'll get to them. We do them in order, so don't repeat. Why are we limited to 20 characters in our tags? Because somebody said we need a limit on how many tags or how many letters. What's a good number? 20 sounds right. All right, cool. 20 it is. There might be an actual psychological reason. Maybe they actually used some math to figure something out, but they're not going to tell us. And honestly, they probably don't remember if they did.
Yeah, it's always been like that.
Yeah.
It's been like that for as long as I can remember. And it's going on over 10 years now. So
I tend to use capital words when typing my tags. Example, gemstone bracelet, when auditing my listing to see if the words I used in my tags are being noticed in my description. It only highlights the capitalized words. Am I screwing myself or does this not matter?
It does not matter. No, capitalization has zero impact.
Nope.
Because computers don't know the difference. They're just reading words.
Unless you're selling to an audience of people who don't like things being in all caps because they think they're being yelled at.
Yeah. If you were doing your whole title in all caps. But you know what? I see titles in all caps all the time and they do fine.
When I first made an Insta for my art, I was getting 30 to 50 likes on posts plus engagement in the comments. I took 2 years off. Now I can't get anyone to interact with my posts at all. Advice. Well, for one, the algorithm for Instagram is completely different now.
Yeah.
It changes. 2 years is a long time for a social media platform.
Yeah. Not to mention your engagement's gone stale. That would be like if I stopped uploading videos for 2 years and then I uploaded a new video and I expected you guys to all be here for me at that moment. That's, for one, the algorithm isn't going to show you because you've been gone.
Exactly.
And
not to mention your interaction ratio with an audience that you've already built is going to be very, very low because you're posting and Instagram sees that no one is reacting to it. So it's going to take time to build that back up, but we have a thing for that.
Yeah, the 30-day Instagram challenge kit. It's going to be a slow start, but
play with it. You might have to do it more than once.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people just retake it. It's free. It comes with a video to watch.
There's no sales pitch.
No, it's just PDFs that you can download that are going to help you to build a good topical consistency. It's going to get you in good posting habits. There is also a recommended post schedule for when you should post reels, when you should post stories, when you should post feed posts. And if you can do that, if you can do 50% of that 1 month, because I know it's a lot of content, if you could do just 50% 1 month, and then up that to 60% and maybe do it for 60 days and then up it, maybe you go for 90 days and then you up it to 70%, you will start to, for one, adjust to that content schedule. That way, you can kind of take it easy on yourself. You're not just slamming into it. And for two, what that's also going to do is it's going to help you to build that engagement back slowly, because it is possible to get engagement back, but you're going to have to work really hard. And you have to also consider how many people have joined Instagram that you're now competing with just since those 2 years that you've been away. So
you're welcome. And Frosty Lab said,
oh, thank you to everybody.
Donations. We really appreciate that.
Awesome.
They said the smaller tag amount makes matching computing easier. Well, obviously, but what arbitrarily made them decide between 20 and 25? The difference between that is one word at most, right? So
oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you to everybody who's donating. We are now up to $174. That's awesome. And that money goes directly to the charities. We don't even get to, we don't get to see it. It's not even on our taxes.
Nope.
it's on YouTube's.
It's not even reported in any way.
No.
Any tips for when you feel like you have way too much to do? I'm starting a shop and my list is massive. Bro, you ain't alone.
Danielle, the thing is, I actually made a video on this not that long ago about anxiety. When you feel like you could do everything, because as a business owner, there will never be an end to your to-do list. It will go on forever.
Yep.
you will always feel
Never ends.
right. You will always feel like there are 600 things to do because there is no end to what you should be doing.
That's a good thing though.
It's a good thing, but my unhealthy habit when I first started out, and the one piece of advice I would give to like me, when I was 25, is that just because you have a lot to do, you do not have to have a lot to do today.
No.
So what I do now is what I have to do, I will choose 3 things that I need to do. And those go on Monday. And then I pick 3 more things and those go in Tuesday. 3 more things, those go in Wednesday. And if by the time I'm done with those 3 things, maybe I add in a little extra thing to do. But you will drive yourself crazy and you will make yourself a very unpleasant and unhappy person.
Yes.
If you constantly feel like you have to be doing everything. Because I wouldn't clock out of work. I would stay in work mode all the time. I didn't have a time when I would sign off, and I was just working morning till night. And he would try to say, come eat dinner. I made dinner. And I would get mad at him. What do you mean come eat dinner? I can't come eat dinner. I can't. Do you not understand? Do you not see all this work that I have to do?
Nope.
Like, bring my dinner to my desk. I'll eat my dinner right here. And it made me a very unpleasant person.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
So now I give myself, 3 or sometimes 4 things to do every day. And anything else that gets accomplished is a bonus. It's extra stuff. Because you are going to feel overwhelmed, but there is no deadline on when you need to get your shop up and started. There's no date. You have none. There's no date. And if you are one of those people who says, I need to start an Etsy shop because I need to make money to pay this bill, you probably shouldn't.
I would honestly be more concerned if there was nothing you had to do. Running a business. If you're like, I don't really have anything that I need to do, that's when you should probably start looking at stuff. That's when things get weird for us. Like 30 days post HAA launch, when there's like the slog,
quiet.
we're like, it's quiet. And we're like, because usually right before HAA launch, we're past our time, so we're done with questions. But
okay.
Usually past HAA launch, with leading up to it with us, as much as we have to do afterwards, it's like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't want to work, but I have to.
All right. That's
pretty much it. As far as taxes go, Dulcie, because I wanted to address that, go with what your accountant says and go with an accountant who has insurance, because I don't know. I'm not able to get a solid answer on that. When you do POD, do you get by what was made on Etsy or what you made for the year, or do you go by Printful and look at the profit there? I think, and don't quote me, not a tax professional, not legally responsible for you losing stuff. I think it's what you made on Etsy. I think it's the overall total. And then what went to Etsy is going to be similar to like a commissioning fee.
and
it'll be counted as a loss, right? So like if you sold something for $20 and you profited $2, then you had an $18 loss, right? I think that's how it works. And then that's the difference between your net and your gross, right? Like your gross was the 20, but 18 of that went to both Etsy and Printful for the services they rendered. So then that's your net is $2. So then that's going to be counted as a loss, all that kind of stuff. Get yourself an accountant. If you're in the US, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure you are.
Yeah.
Just go with like Block Advisors or something similar. Pay the like $200 for the insurance. That way, if something is wrong, go with the usually the answer that sounds worse for you. That's usually the best thing to do when it comes for taxes, but at least you have something behind you that can back you up. And you did your best to be intellectually honest on your tax forms. That'll keep you the safest.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that we've answered a lot today.
We cut off questions at 1:30 if you're new here, just for our sanity. Otherwise, we would never cut. I mean, there's more left to answer than we actually even got to. So if we didn't get to answer your question today, make sure you join us either here next Friday for the next live stream. We do these every Friday, or at the E-Rank live stream on the E-Rank YouTube channel. You can just search E-Rank and it'll be the first thing that comes up.
Yeah.
They also heard Pam, and this week Anthony Wolf made some pretty big announcements. Awesome.
Yeah,
Check it out.
every Thursday over on the eRank channel. And Pam and I, we usually don't have enough questions. So these live streams are jam packed. Then I do the exact same thing over on eRank's channel, and there aren't as many people. So go check that out. Just search eRank. There are tons of freebies down below. On March 9th, I'm doing a really great webinar with Printify. You don't have to sell print on demand to attend that.
No, I would still check it out if you're curious at all about POD.
It's not even just POD. This webinar is my brand planet webinar. Some of you guys who have been around for a while have watched it, but it's been over a year since I presented it. This is going to help you build the foundation for your brand. So if you're not making the sales through any business, whether it be Etsy or somewhere else, if you're not making the sales you want and you're not sure why, there's a big difference between building a brand and having branding. Having branding is like you hire somebody to make your logo. Cool. That looks nice. That's not having a brand. And what we are going to be talking about is developing your brand, developing the emotions behind your brand.
Be there, be square.
Yes, how to make sure that all of your, the elements of your brand align. So make sure you check that out. It's going to be free. There are, I know that Printify is doing prizes. I don't know what kind of prizes. They always do. They had me come up with a trivia question so they could do prizes. So some kind of prizes. And the link to that, if you want to set up like the YouTube notification, that's down below. If you're on my email list, I'll send you an email reminder. Yes. And there's also freebies down there. The Etsy SEO toolbox. If you want to know how to do Etsy SEO, a lot of the things that you guys are asking in the chat right now, they are answered in that toolbox. It is free. Everything down there is free. There is the 30-day Instagram challenge. If you want to do more social media marketing, but you don't know how to start or you don't know what to post, that's going to be great for you. It's going to help you to build some good momentum. There's a bunch of stuff down there. I can't even remember what all the 2023 marketing calendars.
We have a lot of stuff we give you guys.
With 2023 marketing calendars. Yeah, that's why okay, now that we're at the end and we've got I want 5 minutes for me to be mad. So if you guys want to leave, you guys can leave.
Let me address what they said real quick because they're talking about the tax stuff. She said she did TurboTax. I'm going to be real with you. I know a lot of people like to file their taxes on their own. They like to be independent. I think at the low level, that's probably okay. If you're making less than like $20,000, $30,000, I know $30,000 a year low level, but when it comes to business, it is. I wouldn't file taxes on your own. You're missing out on so many write-offs and discounts and tax credits and things like. Insurance is a thing. If you fall below a certain income level, you're talking about the difference between POD. Your end income for the year ends up being almost nothing because POD looks a lot higher than it actually is. You might qualify for an insurance that's 50% what you're paying every year. There are so many things that you're missing out on by filing taxes yourself unless you're a tax professional. You probably don't know all the things you can write off. And guess what? Every 4 to 8 years, the person that is president is usually on the opposite party from the last one, and things change dramatically. You might miss something and owe a bunch of money. You might miss something and end up paying a ton of money for something you didn't. We've done that before. Back when we used to just use regular H&R Block and they didn't know anything about business. And we're now at obviously the full transparency, we're at the 6-figure mark. Us doing it ourselves, we'd probably be paying $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 more in taxes every year. Please do yourself the service. If you're making more than $15,000, $20,000 a year on Etsy, put the extra $200-$300 aside to go with somebody that can help you out. Because there are states like California, I don't know if it still exists, but when I was in the military, we qualified for a $2,000 tax bonus because we fell into a low income tax bracket. That might apply for you if you're somewhere in the states that has one of those. Don't do it yourself, please. That's the end of my rant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please pay someone else to do your taxes that is a professional and that's insured, because Block Advisors, if you pay for the insurance and you get audited, they do all the work. And if there's something wrong and you were honest, they have to pay the difference, not you.
Hey, now I'm the help when you call TurboTax. That's the thing is if they call, but most people don't call TurboTax. They just try to figure it out on themselves.
No. Yeah.
But anyway, real quick, and we're done with discussions. If you guys want to bounce out, that's fine.
Yeah, this is softcore time.
Yeah. No, I had a pity party today. I'm gonna be Starla. I'm gonna be human for a minute because normally it's teach.
How dare you?
I know I have human emotions, and I did get upset today because there is a Reddit thread. Oh, she's fear mongering, doesn't know anything, doesn't have an Etsy shop. How dare she think she's qualified to teach?
That comment confused me. Where's the fear mongering at? Where's that coming from?
Apparently the
We're
Disney,
the opposite of that.
apparently the Disney video I made.
Okay,
but
sure.
what I think that what upset me and why I was so upset, because if I was smart, I wouldn't have been upset by it, and there are times when we all act irrationally, and I can tell you the psychological reason for why mean comments are more impactful than nice comments. It's because we are geared for an ancient human society where if you're the outcast, you're the one that the tribe sees as different. And you aren't allowed to sleep in the warm cave next to the fire and share the food and share the women. You're the poor
the women
or men. I don't want any women, but whatever floats your.
I just
your
didn't
boat.
know we were doing that. Where have I been on that boat?
But ancient humans, that's what we're geared for. We're geared to work and to live in tribes. And if you're different, there's something wrong. But that is geared for a small little group of 15 to 20 people who are all very close knit, and you want to be included in that. But our brains are not wired for the world that we live in today. We did not evolve to be catered to the internet, where there are thousands and thousands and thousands of individuals. And, there are like 4 people in this Reddit thread that ruined my day so bad. And, the logical part of me says, hey, Starla, that's stupid. Get over it. Quit crying about it. But the illogical part of me says, I love what I do.
Yeah.
I really, really love what I do. And I don't have to do 99.9% of the things that I do, because the competitors that I watch on YouTube who have way more subscribers, and they definitely make way more money than I do with their monetization, they create videos with, these crazy explode your Etsy sales thumbnails. And that's what people want. That's what most people are searching for. That's what's getting the most clicks. And I could do that, but I don't, even though I know I could make more money doing things like that, I don't, because I really like doing what I do and creating.
We like you.
Creating the content that I create, and not, sometimes I regurgitate the same information, but I try to always do it in a different way, or I at least put a big gap in between. Like, we've done this episode before, but I waited.
Yeah. Well, we're always addressing, every couple of years we're addressing a new audience. It's not the same people. There's a few
Right.
there's a few all the times here, but
and my thought process is, why are genuine teachers and course creators, I talk about bad course creators all the time. I've been burned by a bunch of them, and there's a bunch that I don't work with anymore because I don't like how they run their businesses. And it's because I care about you. I'm trying to protect you guys by not making you think that their behavior is acceptable to me. Mm-hmm. And my thought process is, in any other profession though, why is it not okay for me not to want to make money doing what I like to do when what I'm doing is genuine? That's what I don't understand, is that there are people that get so mad that I sell a course. Why do you not get mad at high school teachers? Why don't you get mad at doctors? Why don't you get mad at people who teach like dog obedience school? Why don't you get mad at tech sergeants in the military? Why don't you get mad at, there's so many things. Why don't you get mad at, the lady who spent her entire life learning how to sew so she could teach a sewing class? Why? Because I love Etsy and I love teaching sellers, and I work for eRank, and I'm able to share that knowledge.
And it's even more weird because we do genuinely try to be transparent and honest. And the thing is, like she said, a lot more money can be made not being that way. But it also not just for being able to sleep at night, because we can. We're not the kind of people who sell courses and are super shady and crappy and dishonest, which is most course creators now. But that also would have the potential to blow up. And how many times have you seen a course creator just disappear off the face of the planet because it blew up in their face? I mean, even like, what was it? Was it Jake Paul that had the course on?
Was it?
Yeah, he was a course creator there for a while, and it blew up in his face because of being a dishonest crapshoot blows up in your face at some point in time. And we chose at one point to deviate from the crappy business practices. And I feel like we get more hate for that than the people that are just always like bubblegum princesses all the time. Which, by the way, those people that are super bubblegummy that people watch all the time, that's not how they are in real life. It's a
Right.
it's a character. And what you're seeing here, other than being dumbed down so the algorithm doesn't demonetize us, you're getting pretty close to the genuine us.
And a couple of you who've seen us on Twitch, you guys get to see how we really act because we
Yeah.
curse a lot.
It's just kind of the same thing, but with curse words, right?
And I did want to point out one thing. I took a screenshot of an ad I got a few days ago that maybe I should be mad about it, maybe I shouldn't, but this is kind of the thing that scares me about the future of what I do here and, what other good coaches do. There was this app I got for this Creator U. It says, "Are you ready to become a successful digital course creator?" And it says the online course you can easily sell in 5 days that was made 90% by AI.
Yeah,
So
that's going to be a big thing soon, I think.
It's a service that creates courses with AI. And what scares me about things like that is, how do you get help? If the person who created the course doesn't know about the topic and they relied on AI to make the course, how do you get help when you have a question about something? Who do you contact if it was an AI generated course? Who do you reach out? Who do you email? And
well, I'm very iffy about the AI based ones, and I'm also very iffy about I don't want to say names. There are course creator collaborators, I guess you could say, where you go take a course on selling courses, and most of those courses suck. And you see a lot of them kind of band together where it'll be like 30 or 40 course creators. They all get together and make one mega course that you pay like $20 for a weekend. Most of those suck, and most of the people involved with those suck, and most of the people at the top of those chains suck. It's like the MLM for course creation.
right. It's not
And they're not in it for you. They're in it for the money, specifically for the money. And obviously, like I said at the beginning of the stream, people said, why don't you run an Etsy shop anymore? This is more lucrative. 100% transparency. This is more lucrative. However, but hold on. The assumption that we don't know about Etsy because we don't run an Etsy shop is asinine. We have almost 50,000 subscribers. We have 1,000. We can see every industry within Etsy simultaneously. You don't have to be behind a shop in order to see what happens with a shop. If we're working one-on-one with literally hundreds of people at the same time, how is that not more beneficial than running a shop yourself? I don't understand the disconnect where people don't understand. Like, challenging us if we were like just coming into the scene would be genuine and honest, but we've been here for like 5 years and we have more experience than almost anyone in the industry because of how many people we work with. It's confusing people, the logic people have.
Right. It's a big slap in the face when I work so hard, and like right now I'm really sick. I've got vertigo so bad right now.
She woke up this morning and was like, I can't stand up.
I was like falling down because I've got what I think is an ear infection. But I'm always here and I'm always showing up and I'm providing content. And if anything that I do doesn't speak for the quality of my knowledge, then let me know in that moment. But making a big blanket post that says that I don't know anything about anything, give me an example. Provide me with feedback. Tell me how I can be better. If you don't want to listen to me because I don't have an Etsy shop right now that you can find, because, I do have content that I keep private, that's fine. I've got a Redbubble shop that you guys don't get to see either. I have a website that I sell on that one you guys can see. It's Explore the Channel for my book. But, there are places that I sell that I don't feel like I should have to tell you the mechanics of all of my business. And not to mention, all of those are going to cause looky-loos that come and mess up my conversion rates, where I'm no longer able to perform organic experiments. So what I would ask of you guys, if you ever have a question for me, is that I am always going to be honest with you. And if you ever feel gross about me or anything I've said, or
call us on it.
No, send me an email.
Yeah.
Talk to me privately, or if you want to call me out here on YouTube, during a live stream,
just have the stuff to back it up. But that's the thing. Like, if we do ever seem
disingenuous, if we ever seem like we're not being real anymore, we want to know when that moment happens,
And
because it does happen. It does creep up on you. We've been there before.
And there are days when I don't feel good and I got to pretend that I do. You know, there are days when I have to there are days when I have to put on a smiling face and be here for you guys when I don't feel good. And sometimes I probably do come off disingenuous, but I've been doing this every single week for over an hour for over 5 years now. And I think that should speak on behalf of itself. So hopefully, hopefully
blowing smoke up our own butts.
Well, yeah. And hopefully, you guys know by now that if there's ever an issue that you can talk to me.
We're still human.
We are human. If you come at me with aggression, I am human too, and I will probably be offended. I'm not going to respond to you with my customer service voice because we're people. I'm a person. I don't have to respond to you, but I'm going to. But treat me with respect. We're all people. I deserve respect. You deserve respect. Let's be respectful. If you have a genuine concern, bring it up to me. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. If there's something I do that irks you, let's talk about it. And I'm just going to keep doing what I do because I don't want to put any more energy into,
haters.
Right. Like
no more haters.
Yeah.
We're not going to feed your nonsense.
Right. Like you guys don't have to watch my videos. You don't have to donate.
I love doing these live streams. I don't do these because I have to. I could walk away from this at any time.
Right. You guys don't have to do anything. You don't have to sign up for my freebies if you hate them. You don't have to watch our live streams. You definitely don't have to sign up for my course if you don't like it or if you don't.
As a matter of fact, if you don't like it, I'd prefer you didn't.
That's true.
I don't want to deal with you.
That's true.
We don't need the money enough for it to matter.
Are we streaming tonight?
No, we are not. We are not streaming. I think it's going to be a few weeks till I figure out what I want to do with that. I'm definitely not quitting on streaming, but I don't enjoy that style of streaming that much. So give me a few weeks. Like I said, by my birthday in May, we'll be streaming again. I'm hoping, but I don't know what I want to do yet. It's making video game. Well, this is a topic for somewhere else, but making video games into work is not what I want to do with that. It's more to be fun. So we'll figure that out. But we do appreciate you guys sticking around for the little end game. Don't listen to the mud people. She needed to vent. She doesn't handle online people as well as I do.
No.
She doesn't understand or she understands it. She just doesn't know how to respond to this kind of criticism yet.
Yeah. And, honestly, I know that there were so many people here who watched this. And I know that a couple of you are going to be like impulse to go find that Reddit thread. And that's fine.
Don't attack people.
But don't attack
on our behalf, please.
Yeah. If you want to say something, factual, that's fine. But don't attack people. That's not what we want.
No.
We don't want to make our community negative.
No, because that's one of the things that we sought to create from the get-go was a community that was different from other course creators that we were involved with.
Right.
Because everyone has a kind of suck audience anymore. We don't want that.
Now, I did comment on there and get kind of heated because they called Mark abusive, which I abuse this man.
Yeah.
He makes dinner. He cleans and cooks and takes care of the child and runs our website, does our tech. He does everything. All I do is come up with content, guys. He makes the world go round.
You're enabling right now. You're enabling my abuse. Yeah. I'm so abusive.
I've made you essential.
I paid a scalper triple the price for a giant Pikachu plush for her birthday. I'm so abusive. Anyway.
He bought me a giant Squishmallow Pikachu.
But we love you guys. We hope you guys stick around, and we hope there's tons more HA students, not just for the money. That's great, but it's awesome watching our audience grow. Our audience, we've officially in the last 365 days, looking at our YouTube stats, audience is more than doubled. Our audience is at 45,000 and almost 26,000 of those are within the last 365 days. So
I didn't cry. I started to. I got a little teary-eyed.
But you guys are awesome, and we're here for you and because of you. And we couldn't ask for anything better. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream there. We're going to have to wave for like 2 to 3 minutes here.
Bubbers boy.
Bubbers. There him is, a good boy.
Oh, you woke him up.
Bubbers, I'm over here. He's like, where are you, Dad? Come here, bud.
He is disgruntled.
Come here, bud. Come say hi before the camera cuts off. Yeah.
Your banter with each other is total ADHD dopamine hits.
Him was a CP boy. And now him, but he said, what's going on, Dad? What the heck? What the heck? All right, you can click end stream now.
All right. Bye, guys. Bye.